Welcome back to another episode of an Investor's Journey podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Barbera, and on this episode, I wanted to cover the best strategy for buying real estate. I'm talking about the only strategy there is out there that's going to make you the most money with the less work, the fastest. All right? This is a strategy that nobody really knows about. So all that being said, that is the same bullshit I see over and over from every type of wannabe guru that's trying to make their bones in real estate. And I'm seeing this more and more in real estate. Now everybody is a freaking guru. It's really ridiculous. And they're all trying to do it by saying, this is the only way to do it. This is the best way to do it. And recently, I was, I think it was on Facebook or somewhere. I was hit by an ad of this guy that he's talking about, again, the best way to build money. You can do this across state lines. You don't have to be there. There's no risk. There's nothing. And, he goes through this whole spiel of like how unique it is. And all he's really talking about is owner financing. So the point of this podcast is kind of to share our points of view on all these amazing, unique strategies that, are guaranteed to make you a fortune. They're all bullshit. All of them are bullshit. The only way to be a successful real estate investor or to be a successful investor is to be able to adapt to the market, to be able to adapt to the changes that are going on in the market. So one of the things that I try to tell people is that since I started, I've been doing it in San Antonio for 6 years. I've been investing in real estate, networking, wholesaling, flipping, renting, doing everything in San Antonio for the last 6 years. I've seen people that when I started, they swore up and down on subject twos, right? That was the only way to do it. Subject twos were the best. And we'll put down there a link on how we do subject twos so you guys know. But the subject twos are the best strategy, this and that. Those people are struggling right now because they don't know how to do anything else. And we saw that with people that swore up and down with owner financing. It was, God's gift to real estate investors. And same thing. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of owner finance people that used to preach it, came out with training for it, came out with everything, doing flips or picking up rentals, and it's fine. That's the point of real estate. You adapt to the market. But the problem is that a lot of people fall for these, very unique, guaranteed to make you a fortune strategy. You understand? Everything in the market has its time. Owner financing has its time. Rentals have their time. Flips have their time. Wholesaling has its time. You, as an investor, need to be well-rounded. You can't, I hear this all the time from people, I only want to flip houses. I hate rentals. They're stupid. All this management, all this crap. Or from, owner finance people, screw flipping. That's just, so risky and a waste of money. And rentals, you got to fix toilets and all this other stuff. And then from the rental community, same thing. Why flip a house you're just giving away the profits? I'd rather have cash flow and the depreciation. And they're all right to a certain extent. My thing is like, well, there seems to be a way where owner finance makes more sense. And there's a time that renting makes more sense. And there's a time that flipping makes more sense. So if you're closing yourself off to one very unique, creative, home run strategy, you won't be able to take advantage of all these other opportunities. So why have still been in business and we're still growing is because we adapt to the market. We see how the market changes. We see where the market is changing into. Is it going more into a rental area? Is it going more into high appreciation where flips make more sense? Or do we need to go back to our basics and go back to wholesaling? And that's where I see a lot of people that used to be owner finance, creating notes. This is all we did. This is the best thing. Now they're just glorified wholesalers. And to me, it's sad because they had potential to be great investors. And now all they can do is just wholesale because they don't know how to pick up a rental. They don't know how to flip a property. You understand? And in a market that's always changing, you need to be able to adapt. So when you hear these gurus, and because most of them are gurus or very ignorant people, that they always say, no, you should only owner finance. Just walk away, because that person, they're going to get hit hard when the market changes. That you cannot be so close-minded. We have right now, we're doing new builds. We're still doing wholesales. We're picking up rental properties. We have flips going on. And if I happen to come across a property that makes sense for an owner finance, guess what? I'm going to do an owner finance. You understand? I mean, there's a market for everything, and you need to be able to adapt. So instead of following these gurus, instead of following, what the hottest trend is right now, try to understand the trend that's happening. Why are they pushing this? And a lot of these people, keep in mind, when they start teaching owner finance, it's because owner finance was good years ago, not right now. You understand? Like when they start teaching it, it's because they've been doing this for years. The best time to do it was years ago. And that's what I realized with a lot of people that were talking about, rentals and subject twos. At the time, subject twos, when I saw gurus coming out with programs for them, I started doing some research, and we were kind of like on the tail end of subject twos because while they're still good to do, period, at that time they were more available, right? We were just starting to recover in the economy, so you had a lot of people that were still going through foreclosures. Foreclosures were really high, and that's really where subject twos are in high demand. And we were starting to get out of that little turn, right? We were starting to get out of the high foreclosure rates. We were starting to get out of all that, which made subject twos even harder to get access to. So that's when these guys turned around and they started selling subject two courses, and they no longer can make any more money in real estate. They start selling training. And that to me is, like I said, you got to be a well-rounded investor. It's nothing to the training. It's fine. Their training might work. It might be good education. But don't look at it. Don't be one of those investors that says only flipping, it makes sense. Only rentals make sense. Only, God forbid, you say only Airbnb makes sense, because that's just retarded. But, I mean, we did a podcast on Airbnbs, but hopefully you're not thinking that way. But you have all these, even assisted living facilities. I mean, the Airbnbs and the short-term rentals, they should all be part of your toolbox, right? They should all be a tool that you use to become a much better investor. Wholesaling, you're never too good to wholesale a property. You understand? If you're doing marketing, if you're in real estate as we are, you come across a lot of deals. And when you come across a lot of deals, there's some of them that just makes more sense to wholesale. You're not too good for that. It makes sense. If it makes money, it makes sense. Don't be so sentimental. Don't be so emotional when it comes time to investing. Look at the strategy that makes the most sense for that deal at that moment. Whether that be owner finance, rental, fix and flip, wholesale, short-term rental, or even assisted living facility. I mean, there's a million things you can do with real estate, which is why we love real estate so much. So keep in mind, I hope this episode helps. I hope it kind of frames or gives you a little bit of guidance, because I see a lot of people are extremely overwhelmed with all the options that there are in real estate. And there really are a lot of options, as I just mentioned to you. But don't think that there's only one path to success. There isn't. You got to understand your market. You got to understand what's going on in every pocket of San Antonio. I'm pointing over here because we have a big map of San Antonio. But in San Antonio alone, we have markets that are great for rentals. And we have markets that used to be great for rentals and right now are great for flips, because rents kind of stayed and the appreciation just took off. But you got to be paying attention. So you're not still looking in the same neighborhood for rentals when we are flipping houses in the neighborhood. You understand? Because now that range between rent and value are going way, way too far from each other. And then your returns are going to go down. But you got to keep an eye on it. You got to understand your market and understand what sections of your city does it make sense to do certain strategies. So I hope this helps. I hope it gives you some guidance and a little more clarity as to, there's not one way to do real estate, and that's okay. That's the way it should be. and you should be more versatile in order to last as an investor in this market. So I hope this video helps you, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.